Hi, welcome back to the beginner series. Today is day 2 where we will be going over Sun Salutation B. Let's start by coming to a seated position on the mat. Any comfortable seated position will work. And bring your hands to the top of your thighs or maybe the top of your knees. Palms face outward and start to focus on your breath. Just notice your regular breath sounds here, and if you would like, practice with Ujjayi breathing for a few rounds of breath. Take one more deep breath here, and then let's head to the top of the mat for sun salutations. Start with your hands to your side, palms facing outward in a standing position. Remember to keep a slight bend at the knees here. We'll start with Sun Salutation A to warm up and remember what we did last week. Inhale, rise, arms up, palms face each other at the top of the head. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to shins or the mat. Exhale, plant the hands down and step back to a bent elbow push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, straighten the arms, flip the feet over, heart shines through, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Maybe bending one knee and keeping the other straight, seeing how the hamstrings feel today. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend deeply into the knees. Exhale and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise tall to standing. Exhale, Tadasana, hands to the side. Take one more round of Sun Salutation A on your own breath. And let's meet back in Tadasana to practice Sun Salutation B. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, bend your knees and lower your hips as if you're sitting back in a chair, and keep the arms extended straight overhead. Exhale, we know this one, standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands and step the feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, flip the feet under, straighten the arms, send the heart forward, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg, bring it to the front of the mat for Virabhadrasana or Warrior One. Bring the left heel to the mat and sweep the arms over the head. We'll go more into the Warrior series in day 3 of the beginner series, but for now, this is perfect. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to bent elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, flip the feet, pull the heart through, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, and lift the left leg. Same thing on the opposite side. Bend the left knee, bring it to the front of the mat. Right heel comes to the mat. Arms sweep up over the head. Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One on the left side. Exhale, plant the hands and step the foot back to chaturanga. Inhale, flip the feet, pull the heart forward, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Hold for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the front of the mat, bend the knees. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to chair pose. So bend the knees and sink the hips back to chair. And exhale, come back to Tadasana. Let's take one more round. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to chaturanga, bend the elbows. Inhale, flip the feet, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips back and up, downward facing dog, lift the right leg, bring it to the front of the mat, Warrior One. Left heel sinks down to the mat, arms reach up. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, chaturanga, bend the elbows. Inhale, flip the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, bend those knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog, lift the left leg. Place it in the front, Warrior One. Right heel sinks to the mat. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back to chaturanga. Inhale, straighten the arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Hold for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend the knees. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to chair pose. Keep a bend in the knees. Keep the hips back. Exhale, come back to Tadasana. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to bent elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the knees, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg, bring it to the top of the mat, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg, bend the knee, bring it to the front of the mat, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for 5 breaths. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend the knees. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips low, chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's take 3 more rounds of Sun Salutation B with your own breath. I will be here as a guide if you need me.
Feel free to take another if you would like, but I'm certainly sweating. I'm sure that you are. Thank you again for joining me for day 2, and I will see you in day 3. Namaste.